Last episode left everyone on edge, and not the fun kind. Jenny was at her limit, staring at Sumit like she was trying to send him a message with her mind. The whole house felt like it was holding its breath, waiting for someone to finally say what everyone was thinking. Sumit's parents were in the background, pretending everything was normal, but you could see the tension in the way they passed the salt. Jenny's patience was running on fumes, and Sumit looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. If you thought things were awkward before, you haven't seen anything yet. Now, the new day starts, but nothing feels fresh. Jenny wakes up in the same small room, surrounded by the same four walls, and the only thing that's changed is her tolerance for this situation. She's been living in this house for months, but it still doesn't feel like home. Most days, she barely leaves her room. She scrolls on her phone, watches the clock, and tries to ignore the sounds of family life happening just outside her door. It's like being a guest who overstayed their welcome, except nobody ever actually welcomed her in the first place. The only time she steps out is for a quick meal or to do chores, and even then, she moves quietly, hoping not to draw attention. Sumit, meanwhile, is doing his best impression of Switzerland, trying to keep the peace, but ending up pleasing no one. He tells Jenny to be patient, to give his parents more time, but let's be real, how much time does one person need to feel accepted? Jenny's been bending over backwards for years, and all she's gotten is a front row seat to her own frustration. Every meal is a silent standoff, every family gathering a reminder that she's always the outsider. Even the family dog seems to sense the drama, sneaking out of the room whenever voices get raised. You know that feeling when you're in someone else's house and you're not sure if you should help yourself to a snack or just starve quietly? That's Jenny, every single day. She's tried being polite, tried blending in, even tried to laugh at jokes she doesn't understand, but nothing works. The more she tries, the more invisible she feels. And Sumit, he's stuck in the middle, but instead of choosing a side, he's choosing to do nothing. That's not neutral, that's picking the status quo, and Jenny's starting to see it for what it is. But here's where things start to get spicy. Jenny's not just sad anymore, she's angry. She's tired of being treated like a piece of furniture only noticed when she's in the way. She wants a life with Sumit, not a life with Sumit's entire extended family. And the more she pushes for change, the more Sumit digs in his heels. He keeps repeating the same line about respecting his parents, about how he can't hurt them, but you can see the cracks forming. Jenny's not buying it anymore, and honestly, neither are we. The wildest part is that everyone in the house acts like this is normal. Sumit's parents think Jenny's discomfort is just a phase, something she'll get over if she tries hard enough. But Jenny's not a teenager going through a mood swing, she's a grown woman who knows what she wants. And what she wants is simple, her own space, her own life, and a husband who puts her first at least once in a while. Is that too much to ask? Apparently, in this house, it is. But what nobody sees coming is how close Jenny is to her breaking point. She's not threatening, she's promising. The next move she makes could change everything, and if Sumit doesn't wake up soon, he might find himself alone in that house, wondering where it all went wrong. And trust me, what Jenny does next will have everyone talking. Sumit's loyalty to his parents isn't just a habit, it's his whole identity. He grew up in a world where family means everything, where parents are treated like gods, and every big decision is made with their blessing. For him, living under the same roof as his parents isn't a burden, it's a duty. He's been taught that putting his parents first is the right thing to do, even if it means putting his marriage on the back burner. But Jenny didn't sign up for this. She came to India for love, not to be a permanent guest in someone else's family drama. Every day she spends in that house chips away at her sense of self, and you can see it in her eyes. She's not just lonely, she's starting to feel invisible. The cultural clash is real, and it's not just about food or language. It's about what it means to be a wife, a daughter-in-law, a partner. Jenny wants a marriage where she and Sumit are equals, where they make decisions together, where their home is their sanctuary. But in this house, she's always second to his parents. Every time she tries to talk to Sumit about moving out, he shuts down. He says he can't hurt his parents, that they'd be devastated if he left. But what about Jenny? Isn't she devastated too? The more he tries to keep everyone happy, the more miserable everyone becomes. You can feel the frustration building with every awkward dinner, every forced smile, every time Jenny bites her tongue instead of saying how she really feels. She's tried to adapt, tried to be understanding, but there's only so much one person can take. The walls are closing in, and Jenny's patience is running out. She's not asking for a mansion or a fancy lifestyle. She just wants a little privacy, a little respect, a little space to breathe. Is that so unreasonable? In this family, apparently it is. Sumit's parents don't make it any easier. They act like Jenny's discomfort is her own fault, like she's not trying hard enough to fit in. They remind her, sometimes with words, sometimes with looks, that she's the outsider. Even when Sumit's brother and his wife moved out, nobody batted an eye. But when Jenny brings up the idea, it's treated like a betrayal. The double standard is impossible to ignore, and Jenny's had enough. She's tired of being the scapegoat for every problem in the house, tired of being blamed for things she can't control. And then, it happens. Jenny finally snaps. She sits Sumit down and tells him, plain and simple, that she can't do this anymore. She's not threatening, she's not begging, she's stating a fact. If he doesn't choose her, if he doesn't put their marriage first, she's leaving. She's not going to spend another day feeling like a stranger in her own home. The ultimatum hangs in the air, heavy and final. Sumit looks stunned, like he never thought she'd actually go through with it. But this time, Jenny's serious. The room goes quiet. You can almost hear the sound of hearts breaking. Sumit is caught between two worlds, and for the first time, he realizes he might lose both. Jenny's not bluffing, and everyone knows it. The question now is simple but brutal. Will Sumit finally choose his wife, or will he let her walk away for good? What happens next could change everything for this family, and nobody's ready for the fallout. Sumit's parents don't waste a second before jumping in. The moment Jenny's ultimatum hits the air, you can see the shock ripple across their faces. His mother's eyes narrow, his father's jaw tightens, and suddenly the room feels colder. They don't see Jenny's pain, only the threat to their family routine. Instead of asking what would make Jenny feel at home, they double down on tradition. They say she needs to adapt, that she's still learning, as if years of trying haven't counted for anything. The message is clear, the family comes first, and Jenny's comfort is a distant second. But here's where the double standard hits like a slap. Not long ago, Sumit's brother and his wife packed up and left the family home. No drama, no guilt trips, just a quiet exit. The family accepted it, even made excuses about dietary differences and personal space. But when Jenny brings up moving out, suddenly it's a crisis. She's accused of breaking up the family, of not respecting their values. It's like the rules change depending on who's asking, and Jenny's always on the losing side. Fans online are quick to point this out. Social media is buzzing with people calling out the hypocrisy, asking why Jenny is held to a different standard. Some say it's cultural, others say it's personal, but everyone agrees it's unfair. The family calf, once a symbol of hope, is now just another casualty. It started as a dream, a way to bring everyone together, but it's fallen apart faster than anyone expected. Arguments over money, over roles, over who's really in charge have left everyone exhausted. Jenny tried to help, but her efforts were dismissed. Now, nobody wants to talk about the calf. It's become a sore spot, a reminder that even when they try to work together, old wounds and grudges get in the way. The calf's failure is more than a business problem. It's a sign that this family's unity is only surface deep. Viewers are eating this up. Twitter and Instagram are full of hot takes, memes, and debates. Some people side with Jenny, saying she deserves better, that no one should have to beg for respect in their own home. Others defend Sumit's parents, arguing that tradition matters and Jenny knew what she was getting into. The comments are wild, with people sharing their own stories of in-law drama and culture shock. It's messy, it's real, and it's got everyone talking. Would you stay if you were in Jenny's shoes? Or would you pack your bags and never look back? But the real shock comes when Jenny drops her final card. She tells Sumit in front of everyone that if things don't change, she's going back to America. No more empty threats, no more waiting for someone else to fix things. She's ready to leave, and this time she means it. The room goes silent. Even Sumit's parents look rattled. For the first time, they realize Jenny isn't bluffing. She's not just threatening to leave the house, she's threatening to leave the country, to end the marriage, to walk away from everything. The stakes have never been higher, and nobody knows what Sumit will do next. If you think this family has seen drama before, wait until you see what happens when Jenny starts packing her bags. Jenny's suitcase is out, and this time it's not for show. She moves around the room with a quiet determination, folding clothes, zipping up memories, and ignoring the growing panic in Sumit's eyes. He tries to talk her down, but his words sound empty, even to him. The family hears the commotion and rushes in, voices rising, everyone talking over each other. His mother pleads, his father lectures, but Jenny's face is set. She's heard it all before. The same promises, the same guilt trips, the same hope that if she waits long enough, things will magically get better. But nothing has changed, and she's done waiting. Sumit's panic is real now. He follows Jenny from room to room, trying to remind her of the good times, the laughter, the dreams they once shared. He brings up the early days, when it was just the two of them against the world, when every small victory felt huge. But Jenny remembers those days too, and that's exactly why this hurts so much. She didn't come all this way to be a background character in someone else's story. She wanted a partner, not a roommate with divided loyalties. The family tries every trick in the book. They promise things will be different, that they'll try harder, that Jenny just needs to give it one more chance. But the words ring hollow. Jenny's been through this cycle too many times. She's tired of being the one who always has to compromise, the one who always has to swallow her pride for the sake of peace. She looks at Sumit, searching his face for any sign that he's ready to fight for her, to put her first, even just once. What's at risk isn't just a marriage, it's the life they built together. For Jenny, leaving means giving up on the dream she fought so hard to make real. It means admitting that love isn't always enough, that sometimes the cost is too high. For Sumit, it's the fear of losing the woman who changed his world, the fear of disappointing his parents, and the fear of ending up alone, caught between two worlds and belonging to neither. The weight of all those years, all those choices, presses down on both of them. There's a moment when everything goes quiet. Jenny stands by the door, suitcase in hand, and Sumit stands across from her, torn between the life he knows and the life he wants. The family watches, waiting for someone to make the first move. It's a standoff, and nobody knows who will blink first. The memories of every argument, every apology, every promise hang in the air. Jenny's voice is steady, but her eyes are full of pain. She tells Sumit this is his last chance. If he wants her to stay, he has to show her, not just say it. The tension is unbearable. You can feel the whole house holding its breath, waiting to see if this is the moment everything falls apart or finally comes together. Will Jenny walk out the door and leave it all behind, or will Sumit finally find the courage to choose her over his fears? The answer is seconds away, but nobody in that house is ready for what comes next. Jenny stands at the threshold, suitcase in hand, her heart pounding louder than the chaos behind her. Sumit's parents hover nearby, their faces a mix of shock and disbelief, as if they never thought she'd actually go through with it. Sumit's voice cracks as he calls her name, but Jenny doesn't turn around. For a moment, it feels like time has stopped. Every memory, every fight, every promise they made to each other hangs in the air, heavy and unspoken. Jenny's decision is clear. She's not waiting for someone else to save her happiness. She's choosing herself, even if it means walking away from the man she loves. The silence that follows is almost unbearable. Sumit stands frozen, torn between running after her and staying rooted in the only life he's ever known. His parents look at him, waiting for him to make a choice, but he can't move. Jenny steps outside, the door closing softly behind her, and for the first time in years, she feels a strange sense of relief. It's not the ending she wanted, but it's the freedom she needs. The house feels emptier, the air heavier, and everyone left behind is forced to face the reality they've been avoiding for so long. For Jenny, the aftermath is bittersweet. She's lost the man she fought so hard to be with, but she's found her voice. She's no longer willing to shrink herself to fit into someone else's expectations. The pain is real, but so is the hope that maybe, just maybe, she can build a life on her own terms. For Sumit, the loss is immediate and raw. He's left with the echoes of what could have been, haunted by the realization that sometimes loving someone means having the courage to fight for them, not just hoping they'll stay. The family is left to pick up the pieces. The old routines feel hollow, the familiar arguments pointless. Even the family calf, once a symbol of togetherness, now stands as a reminder of everything that's been lost. Social media lights up with reactions. Some cheering Jenny for her strength, others mourning the end of a love story that once seemed unstoppable. Fans debate what should have happened, what could still happen, and whether Sumit will ever find the courage to break free from his fears. But the story isn't over. As Jenny settles into her new reality, questions linger. Will Sumit finally realize what he's lost and try to win her back? Will the family learn from this heartbreak, or will they double down on old habits? And most of all, is this truly the end for Jenny and Sumit, or is there still a chance for a new beginning? The answers are out there, waiting to unfold, and nobody watching can look away. Next time, the fallout gets even messier. Secrets come out, loyalties are tested, and someone finally says what everyone's been thinking. If you thought this was the end, think again. The real drama is only just beginning.